Yes, so I was saying when you open the website, you're going to see course outline and some books and readings. You're going to click this first link here and see what is happening. And then when you click lectures, AI for everyone, master the basics, you click this one, and then you are going to see four modules here. So yesterday we were looking at module 3, AI issues, concerns, ethics, and those type of things. Yeah. And today we are going to look at module 4, the future with AI and AI in action. But before I go in module 4, I'm very quickly going to run through module 1 and module 2. So module 1 is basically, as you are seeing here, it's saying what is AI, applications and examples. But the way we did with you guys is that we were like debating, exchanging views, conversation style. So in that, lot of things came there. But what happens in that we never we never spoke about like what is AI, what are the different things, weak AI, although some of you mentioned these terminologies, but just for the sake of those people who maybe are new to the world of AI, different terminologies like weak AI, narrow AI, strong or generalized AI, super AI, conscious AI, some history, historical information about AI, what thought leaders say, some terminologies, some tests like Turing test and those type of things. And nothing hard about it. So when you will click the module 1, I would like you to engage with this maybe after the session and before you go to bed. This is good time like day 3. You can start looking at these things. Introducing AI. These are short clips, nothing to really worry about. And the way they are done, for anyone who has never done anything on even technologies, very easily they will understand. 3-minute clip, 3.5-minute clip here, introducing AI, and they will give you some type of 3 different types of AI. I just spoke about them a while ago, weak, strong, and those type of things. Uh, some of our friends, even on day 1, they were using terminologies like journal AI, generalized AI, and stuff, AGI. Yeah, they were using those type of terminologies. So again, yeah, not long clip, and I have ensured that the clips I select for the course are easy to understand. So your own time, go through go through them. um, After session, these are some articles. You don't have to read them, just open them, scan them. Maybe some of the things already, you will skip that. Trying to just using this module here to give you an overall understanding that what are the different areas in AI, and so on, and um, that type of thing. So these things you can do in your own time. You will see examples, impacts. We have already looked at a lot of examples. You guys uh, were very vocal yesterday, especially in chat also. You guys were giving examples there. So, but here are short clips on examples, applications, stuff like that. Very easy to understand. If someone likes PowerPoints, here is a sample presentation for them to run through, and so on. So you will go through these things just like you went through module 3 yesterday. I could see that I think 10, 12 people before they submitted reflection, they went through the module 3. They looked at, scanned through a couple of videos because they were short, and they incorporated it in that. So I think that is very good practice. So before you send reflection, take like half an hour, something like that, 25. Don't want you to spend your night on this. Of course, it is by the time we end, it is 9. Take half an hour, 40 minutes, 45 minutes, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, depending on your knowledge where you are coming from, and then you just uh, just incorporate it in however you want to say. For example, this one you will see in module 1. At the bottom of that module, you will see this Jack Ma and Elon Musk debate. Yeah, it is a relatively longer clip, but they are exchanging views with each other, and not every time they are agreeing also. This type of debate, I think you should spend some time in listening to that. What these type of successful people in their field, what they think about it, because they are going to incorporate these type of things in their businesses. And I'm sure you are familiar with both of these guys, Jack Ma and Elon Musk, and are quite successful in that. So although it is supplementary talk, but I think it is very important to listen to these type of things. But by the way, if if I selected these type of things because of my inclination, right? I selected what I like also. Of course, I would say that I'm not unbiased. I have my biases, yes. So I don't know about you guys. Maybe you have left your biases, which is very good. But unfortunately, it is work in progress for me. So I have my biases and my stereotypes and those type of things. So what I'm trying to say is that you should listen to these type of debates. Now, the who are the people who are debating? In your country, maybe it is different type of people. In Germany, there are different type of thought leaders. In US, different type of thought leaders. In Turkey, there are different type of thought leaders, and so on. So you can select anyone, but as long as it is a debate type of structure, I would encourage you to look at that. But out of all these clips, I am going to uh, play one clip, which is this one. What is artificial intelligence in five
I wanted
minutes?
to go in somewhere where I
Very shortly, I will be playing this clip, uh, and it is easy to understand. 5.5 minutes, just to give you a sense. And then after that, you will be looking at module one in your own time and space, please. Yes. But let me before I play the clip. Let me take you through module 2 also, because in the same way you will be looking at module 2 also. Yeah. So in module 2, again, there are terminologies, and you must have observed that some friends were using these type of terminologies in sessions yesterday and day before yesterday, and also in their reflections also. Some people are using these type of terminologies. For example, deep learning, neural networks, machine learning, and so on. So for that, if you are not aware of those things, again, nothing to worry about. Here is the selection of very short clips to give you basic understanding of what those terminologies mean. If you are interested in knowing those type of things as a newcomer in AI, you should. Even those of you uh, who knows, who have some experience in AI, I think you should also listen to these type of clips, short clips, because what happens is that if we are given a lot of time to explain something, it is very easy, because we can keep on saying whatever is coming in our mind, and eventually the other person will get a hang of what we are trying to say. But if you restrict someone that, okay, explain this concept in 40 seconds, in 30 seconds, explain this concept, now you really have to get that type of practice to explain the concept in short amount of time. So I think that is a very important activity. So for those of us who know these type of things, and that is good, but still listen to these type of short clips, like how are they explaining in a short piece, what are they doing, what choice of words they are using, just like it's your reflection. Now, because I have given you, no limit, so some people are writing uh, shorter, some people are writing longer, and those of you who are writing longer, nothing is wrong in that. I have no problem, you can, because I have not given you any restriction. But what I am saying, you would realize that it is easy to write long. um, if I give you a restriction like, okay, reflect in 100 words, and don't go beyond the word count, then you will have to be very careful about how you are going to phrase your words and so on. So uh, I think in terms of getting clarity of thought, even those friends who are more knowledgeable than others, they should also listen to these shorter clips just to, so machine learning and these type of neural networks, deep learning, supervised learning, unsupervised learning, these type of terminologies. For example, this one, introduction to machine learning. Anyone who does not know much about it, she explained it in a very nice way. Like 5 6 minute long, 7 minute long clips, very nicely, in a very nice way. She's explaining, very easy to understand. Uh, so it is good to listen to these type of things. But those friends who are maybe interested in going a little bit in a different way, who have the knowledge, they can listen to these type of talks. Like I've selected this one. I myself learned a lot from this video. This is coming from MIT professor, artificial intelligence and machine learning. Of course, it is a little more than 1 hour. So, and I'm not asking that you have to watch it during our week. As we spoke yesterday, you would have access to this website if you are interested in looking at what I have selected and so on. So same way, I think you should look into this module, and I don't have to explain what are the things there. Uh, it's just that you play them, watch them, and after that, if there is something which you want to get a little bit more clarity or something, you can always write me an email and I will look at. For example, in one session I was talking about, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, neuromorphic computing. So everyone should run a Google search on that and look at what are the things which are happening nowadays in that area. Even people, those of our friends who are more experienced, they should also look into that. They should look at for example, for more experienced people, the type of materials which are being used for chips, the chips they are making. It's a fascinating area. Very interesting material they are using, and a lot of advancement. It's actually, as a matter of fact, if you really want to like keep updated on this field, it's quite challenging, especially if you are working, because like I would not say every day, but if you miss like a week or 2 weeks, something like that, and you don't come back, and you are like missing 2 weeks and coming back, missing 2 weeks, coming back, there's a lot of advancements happen. So people, I see people, they are reading on these things every other day, and even if they are scientists and so on. But then there is a challenge, because if you are reading every day, then how you are going to focus on your work, your experimentation. So, but I don't think anyone is, even the more experienced people, I'm not sure, maybe one or two, but for other people, we are not at that stage. This one, data science, we have been talking about. Again, this is a supplementary talk, but because I learned quite a few things about data science in this, and again, it is not heavy. So I've ensured that you don't put too much heavy material on that. But if you are interested in some heavy material also, we can talk through that via email also. So this is it for module 1 and module 2. What I'm trying to say, the basic concepts and those type of things. Watch these type of clips, and after watching, if something is not clear, then we communicate on those things. But before that, I would encourage you to, maybe after the session today, you start looking at module 1, module 2, and maybe by tomorrow you would have seen a couple of clips. They are short clips, and then we proceed from there. But I definitely want to show you at least one clip which I mentioned a while ago. So here it is, and I will also post it in the chat section, so those of you who cannot hear, they can play in their own browser. So let's watch it.
Artificial intelligence for people in a hurry. The easiest way to think of artificial intelligence is in the context of a human. After all, humans are the most intelligent creatures we know of. AI is a broad branch of computer science. The goal of AI is to create systems that can function intelligently and independently. Humans can speak and listen to communicate through language. This is the field of speech recognition. Much of speech recognition is statistically based, hence, it's called statistical learning. Humans can write and read text in a language. This is the field of NLP, or natural language processing. Humans can see with their eyes and process what they see. This is the field of computer vision. Computer vision falls under the symbolic way for computers to process information. Recently, there's been another way, which I'll come to later. Humans recognize the scene around them through their eyes, which create images of that world. This field of image processing, which even though is not directly related to AI, is required for computer vision. Humans can understand their environment and move around fluidly. This is the field of robotics. Humans have the ability to see patterns, such as grouping of like objects. This is the field of pattern recognition. Machines are even better at pattern recognition because they can use more data and dimensions of data. This is the field of machine learning. Now let's talk about the human brain. The human brain is a network of neurons, and we use these to learn things. If we can replicate the structure and the function of the human brain, we might be able to get cognitive capabilities in machines. This is the field of neural networks. If these networks are more complex and deeper, and we use those to learn complex things, that is the field of deep learning. There are different types of deep learning in machines, which are essentially different techniques to replicate what the human brain does. If we get the network to scan images from left to right, top to bottom, it's a convolution neural network. A CNN is used to recognize objects in a scene. This is how computer vision fits in, and object recognition is accomplished through AI. Humans can remember the past, like what you had for dinner last night. Well, at least most of you. We can get a neural network to remember a limited past. This is a recurrent neural network. As you see, there are two ways AI works. One is symbolic based and another is data based. For the database side, called machine learning, we need to feed the machine lots of data before it can learn. For example, if you had lots of data for sales versus advertising spend, you can plot that data to see some kind of a pattern. If the machine can learn this pattern, then it can make predictions based on what it has learned. While 1 or 2 or even 3 dimensions is easy for humans to understand and learn, machines can learn in many more dimensions, like even 100 or thousands. That's why machines can look at lots of high-dimensional data and determine patterns. Once it learns these patterns, it can make predictions that humans can't even come close to. We can use all these machine learning techniques to do one of two things: classification or prediction. As an example, when you use some information about customers to assign new customers to a group, like young adults, then you are classifying that customer. If you use data to predict if they're likely to defect to a competitor, then you're making a prediction. There's another way to think about learning algorithms used for AI. If you train an algorithm with data that also contains the answer, then it's called supervised learning. For example, when you train a machine to recognize your friends by name, you'll need to identify them for the computer. If you train an algorithm with data where you want the machine to figure out the patterns, then it's unsupervised learning. For example, you might want to feed the data about celestial objects in the universe and expect the machine to come up with patterns in that data by itself. If you give any algorithm a goal and expect the machine through trial and error to achieve that goal, then it's called reinforcement learning. A robot's attempt to climb over the wall until it succeeds is an example of that. So there you go. Thanks for watching, and if you like my videos, please subscribe.
Woo! Adaptive mind.
Artificial intelligence for people.
So in module 1 and module 2, these type of clips, short clips, you are going to see and try to reflect on that. Um, for example, look at this picture now. uh, Computer science, AI, symbolic machine learning, and so on. I'm sure that you can recognize that when you guys were using when you guys were conversating in the chat, and when you are making comments yesterday and day before yesterday, now you guys were talking about almost all of these things. Almost, I could see that you are talking about these things, but without using these terminologies. Yeah. So for example, you are not using the terminology symbolic learning, but you are talking about the things which he explained what falls under symbolic learning. You are not talking about NN, but you are using the terminologies there. NLP, you are not talking about it, but you are talking that the ability to read and write and so on. Speech recognition, even you are not talking about it, and so on. So, but for most of the people, yeah, pattern recognition, you are supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and so on. You are not using those terminologies, but you were talking about these things. So, why I'm saying this? The reason for saying this, that some of you are sometimes shy to speak in the live session, and even when you are sending the reflections, you are like a little bit modest about your knowledge, and you are saying that we don't know this and we don't know that. So what I want to tell you is that maybe you don't, and of course there are some people who know, so I'm talking to those people who maybe don't know, who are new to the to this AI thing and all of that. So for those friends, I'm trying to say that you know these things. It is not that you don't know these things. You maybe just don't have memorized the terminologies which go with what you are trying to say. So you are not using the terminologies there. And when someone use some type of terminology, when they are going to say CNN or RNN, I'm going to get confused what is going to happen there. But I know from your reflections and uh, whatever little interaction I have done with you, that you know about these things. So what I'm trying to say is that all you need to do is spend some time on module 1, module 2, and maybe learn the definitions, and instead of using the simple terminology, you can, if you feel like impressing other people by using heavy terminology which other people are who are newcomers, they are not going to understand. Maybe if that is the fancy you have, then maybe you can do that type of thing. But the idea is that still I would say that um, in some situations you might have to use, if you are talking with scientists who know these type of things, and there are so many other terminologies. This is, I'm just picking one area from his discussion, from his clip. Like you can now you can just draw this on a piece of paper, and as you are reading around AI, you can keep on adding new terminologies where they are going to fall, and over a period of time you will have your own chart there. But essentially what I'm trying to say is that um, and this is the way I think. You can disagree or agree. Using difficult words is not going to say much that you understand artificial intelligence or not. Um, it's not about using difficult words. It is. it is maybe other things. It is good to know them, all these words. So those of our friends who maybe have not memorized these terms. All you need to do, just memorize, and you will have the you will have the you will get clarity. So I'm just giving you, trying to give confidence to those friends who in their reflection and even in the live session they are kind of shy, that they don't know this clip which you just saw. This shows you, as he was explaining, when he said symbolic learning and he explained whatever he explained there, you guys have been doing it. So you just did not use symbolic learning, the terminology, and list goes on. Yeah. So that is about it for this. Also on the same note, I'm specifically talking to people who are new in this area, artificial intelligence. So when you will be taking courses and stuff like that, for example, you might want to take some courses in data analytics and so on, because that is very important area uh, in technology. So no matter how hard the course, if you are not understanding, when whoever is conducting the course, most of the time, and this is the way I think, you can again disagree with me, I have no problem with that. If you don't understand, it is not your fault. Please be clear about that. It is not your fault, because of course you are new to the field, so how you are going to understand? Maybe the way it is conducted, if it is you are not understanding something, then the way of conduction of instruction, that needs to change. You don't understand something and you take some course, change the course, take it from someone else. You don't understand again, don't worry yourself. Of course you are, it's not that you are not taking any responsibility, you are trying to do as much as possible, but if it is not your thing, then change the instructor. What I'm trying to say is, don't drop the field. When you pick some subject, some topic to understand, and you don't understand it, don't drop that field. You take a major in bachelor's in computer science and you don't understand things in the first semester, don't drop the field. Change the instructors if you can, change the environment. That is at least in the beginning. Don't drop it too quickly, but because as I can start going deep in AI and it is going to get difficult and difficult and difficult. You can make it as difficult as you want. There's no limit to that. You can keep on, and then there will, and I can be taking some course from some other person and he can make it so difficult that of course I'm not going to understand what the person is saying unless I go back and read about it. So what I'm trying to say is that change the instructors, especially in the beginning phase. Don't drop the field, because I'm also saying this because yesterday, one of our friend, TJ, what was I know him TJ now. Tajiri was making these type of comments yesterday. If you remember that we need to embrace these type of technologies, but in the beginning it is always a little bit hard to understand. So these are some of the things which I wanted to say about your module 1 and 2. Now it is your job to go through them and then see what we can. And then of course we are in touch on the reflection. So uh, we can you can make your comments in the reflection also. So now module 4 is something which we would like to touch on now. So what is module 4? The future with AI, future of AI in action, and so forth. So this is something which we would like to start looking at. um, for example, here, readings, what is next for AI? So if you are going to go in some field, it is very important to understand that what is the future of that field, what are the new things people are working on now. for next 3 years, 4 years, and so on. So these are some top people in their different fields, and there are so many different fields they are. And I've just put in like 5, 6 there for you to go through, and they have these type of articles. For example, look at this. Through AI, we are going to invent many new types of thinking. And we kind of touched that in our discussion so far yesterday and day before yesterday. Like, the way you think is not going to be the only way. It's the more you incorporate or go in depth with AI concepts and different type of people, because they are coming from different countries, different societies, different cultures, different handicaps of different countries. So it will impact on the thinking. So now, of course, I don't need to say the things which are already there for you to read. I enjoyed these things. Don't think that it's just randomly posted. As I was explaining you yesterday, is after a lot of various readings. These are very carefully selected pieces which are over there. It is just that there are so many because they are done over 2-3 years. So that is why they are just more in number. I could reduce them also for this course, but I said that let me just keep them and share it with you, and you can just select which ones you want to read and so on. For example, this one again, a thought leader: making an AI machine play and be naturally curious is the key for the future. Remember, we are looking at the future directions. Yeah, the future with AI and AI in action, module 4. So a futuristic approach we are trying to discuss. Yeah, um, making an AI machine a curiosity. Yeah, and you guys spoke about curiosity yesterday also. Uh, in the people who are making voice comments, they were talking about curiosity. Maybe did not use the term curiosity, but it I can recall some of the things which would fall under that. So, and then how to make it curious, that would be challenging. I can recall in I think 2 reflections yesterday I read, our friends were saying, and I'm just repeating what they were saying, that they were just quoting some of the papers where people are trying to make machines curious, but the challenges they are facing in incorporating this characteristics of human curiosity. Um, I think I also gave some example yesterday. I think the room in you have a room in your house, and you are curious what is in that room, so you would want to about the data and privacy and those things. So uh, but again, this type of thing is for more people who are a little bit more advanced in their readings on AI. AI will allow for much more personalized medicine. Future is going to be very different. When you will just like yesterday, when our friend, very nice comment she was making about children, like, um, I'm sure you can recall that. And then I was also making some comments, and I was agreeing with her that in the future people are not going to say that you have a boy or girl. They are going to say you have a doctor and you have a professor and whatever. Yeah. So same way, the the tendencies of body, what type of sickness people can have, coming from different ethnicities, and then um, personalized medicine and so on. Those type of things are so very interesting read, and all of them are very short. They can be read in 3-4 minutes, and you just read the questions and look for uh, for example, what level of reasoning is AI able to achieve today? This is a question posed to him. So if you like this question and you want to know what should be the response of that, then you read it. If you don't like this question and this is not something where you want to go, you can skip it. No problem in that. Yeah. This is one of the things which I have posted on the site, and all the links I am showing you, they are on the website also. So you just don't worry about that. What will our society look like when AI is everywhere? And this is something which you guys were kind of debating and conversating about. Very interesting points our friends were making in the chat. I can recall that. Very interesting point, and even through the voice. Like for example, one friend was saying that you can go far in some place where technology is not there and live your private life, and then other friends were saying that we are already giving a lot of data without even knowing. So all interesting comments, and again many friends. So this is this type of reading you would want to, and I enjoyed reading this article. For example, look at this. This question fascinating to you? uh, will robots become self-aware? Yeah, to me it is very interesting question. So that is why when I was reading, I bookmarked this paper and I kept it, and then I read it and I enjoyed reading it, so I posted it there. So I think that is the same thing, because if you will start reading about any type of technology, not just AI, any type of technology, so many things are being published. So you need to be careful about what is the source, where it is published, who is the author. You need to run some searches on the author. Like that is how I've selected the material for you. Who is the author? Then look at the research. Is it referenced? They are giving some references. Check those references, and so on. So, and it might, for newcomers, it might seem a little bit tedious, and some friend might think that, oh, that is too much work, but it is not. In the early days it is, but as you start reading on one topic, then over a period of time you get a hang of it. Like you now know that, okay, these are the people which write good, these are the places where you can go, these are the blogs you can follow, and then you have your own uh, bias towards different type of readings, so you would go there. So but that is why I said a while ago that very important that don't just go towards the type of thinking which you have. Also listen to other point of view. That is the major point. I want to really request that please think about this, that not just the way you think, opposite opinions. Very important to read what they are writing with open mind, not defending your point of view. Don't defend. Open mind. Yeah, I said some things yesterday also, so you can link it with that. So that is what it is. So here are some clips, but we would like to discuss a couple of things here. So we're going to play some clips and then have some discussion and debate on that, just like yesterday. Because it is talking about future, so future career in technologies, in AI and so on. There are some advice. Again, I have ensured that I don't pick clips which are long clips, and then I understand it can be very boring. um, um, so it is best that they are short and sweet and to the point, and you listen to it. And so you, for example, you play this clip and you listen it for maybe some time, and then maybe listen all of it, and then you will get a understanding of what type of thought this guy which you can see on the image is giving. He's very young and he's making some career in AI. So if you think that whatever he's saying makes sense, then you continue listening to his work. If this is something which is not interest and it's not your thing, then you can drop it. That is up to you. So that is how over a period of time you pick your some people who you admire and you want to be like them, and then you will pick up some people who think differently, and from there I think that is a good way to look at it. So a lot of advice is there on career and stuff like that, um, uh, because and yes, look at the chat section also. Our friends Uttam is saying that he already visited in Finland and so on, so that is very good. And a lot of clips are there because many of you in your reflections also, you're talking about as someone who is thinking about your career, you guys are in your reflections, you guys are mentioning that we are deciding which way we are going to go and what not. And I have had some conversation with those friends also a little bit. Um but of course, we can talk more as we uh, go towards the end of the week if you are interested. Uh, okay, so one clip I'm going to play. This one, maybe this one clip I'm going to play, but that would be in the later part. Before that, uh, these are some documentaries. Yeah, here are some documentaries. Very interesting documentaries. Um, you should find some time to look at them, uh, preferably during this week. But I don't know how your time schedule is or not. I'm just thinking it is summer, so you might have some time, but I don't know. But these are very interesting documentaries. This one is 2 parts, and this one is 8 parts on different areas in technology, as you guys have mentioned yourself in reflections that this is quite a broad topic which we are trying to take in our short engagement of a week. So you should spend some time in scanning through these 8 part documentary, and I'm sure you are going to enjoy it because they have made it in a very nice way. So just to create your interest in these type of documentaries, and because we have not seen any documentary yet, and of course we cannot see all of the documentary, we just have short time. So I'm just going to play 2 segments. Maybe we will spend 15 minutes, 1 5, in looking at 2 different segments, and then from there maybe try to discuss them or comment on them and see how our discussion goes today. So just two out of this is long piece here, but just 2 portions we are going to watch, and then we will open for discussion. So I hope you will make your notes and stuff like that. And I've been speaking for I think 40 minutes now. So in these 40 minutes, uh, if you can reflect on these areas also, which I said when we open the floor for discussion. Anything you agree, anything you disagree, anything the way you think about it, how especially when we are going to watch this one, that future of jobs in AI and how to be ready for jobs. You can also share your advice, because that would be very handy for all of us, because I know for fact, looking at your reflections, is that some of you have some work knowledge in the fields like data science, and some of you have done some projects using different type of technologies, robotics and so on. So you can also in the chat, you can also give advice like what what is some takeaway you can give to other friends, because of course majority of the people are new to this area. So with that, we are going to watch 2 different areas, which is going to take next 15 minutes. So first one would be this, and I'm going to post it in the chat. And when you will play this clip, you are coming down. This is what you are doing when you play the clip. If you are playing it on your own, if you are watching with us, that is fine, but I'm just explaining you. If you are playing it on your own through chat in your own browser, when you play, you're going to come down and you are going to go show more, and you are going to click this meet baby X. We are not watching all of this video. This is like 35 minutes. We don't have that time. So just we are going to click 3, and we are going to meet baby X. Yeah, that is what we are doing. But if you want to watch together, I'm just clicking here 3, and this is what we are doing.
That's good. Right. My background's always been a mixture of art and science. I ended up doing a PhD in bioengineering. Then I ended up in the film industry, working on King Kong to Avatar, simulating faces. I'd got to a point in my career where I'd been, lucky enough to win a couple of Academy Awards. So I thought, okay, what happens if we actually tried to bring those characters to life that actually you could interact with? Baby, ooh. What can you see? So Baby X is a lifelike simulation of a toddler. Hey, are you excited to be here? She's actually seeing me through the web camera. She's listening through the microphone. Ooh, yeah. Baby X is about exploring the nature of how would we build a digital consciousness if it's possible. We don't know if it's possible, but we're chipping away at that problem. Hey, baby, hey.
Problem is an understatement for what Mark's chipping away at. His vision of the future is one where human and machine cooperate, and the best way to achieve that, he thinks, is to make AI as lifelike as possible. Which is why he began where most life begins, a baby, modeled after his own daughter.
So if we start revealing her layers, she's driven by virtual muscles, and the virtual muscles in turn are driven by a virtual brain. Now these are radically simplified models from the real thing, but nevertheless, they're models that we can explore how they work because we have a real template that exists, the human brain. So these are all driven by neural networks.
A neural network is a virtual, much simpler version of the human brain. The brain is the most complex system in our body. It's got 85 billion neurons, each of which fire nonstop, receiving, processing, and sending information. Baby X's brain is nowhere near as complex, but that's the goal. Instead of neurons, it's got nodes. The more the nodes are exposed to, the more they learn.
What we've learned is it's very hard to build a digital brain, but where we want to go with it is we're trying to build a human-like AI which has a flexible intelligence that can relate to people.
I think the best kind of systems are when humans and AI work together. One of the biggest misconceptions of AI is that there is a super intelligent being, or what we call generalized AI, that knows all, can do all, smarter than all of us put together. That is a total misconception. AI is built on us. AI is mimicking our thought processes. AI is basically an emulation of us.
Like visionaries before him, Mark's a dreamer. The current state of his moonshot, however, is a little more earthbound.
Thank you for granting access to your microphone. It's good to hear you.
Today, most avatars are basically glorified customer service reps.
Rest assured, your health is my primary concern.
They can answer simple questions and get scripted responses.
I love helping our customers, so I'm keen to keep learning.
Beats dealing with automated phone lines for sure, but it's a far cry from Mark's ultimate vision.
Hey, baby, hey.
To create avatars that can actually learn, interpret, and interact with the world around them, like a real human.
What's this? Spider. So we're starting to get a spider forming in her mind here. She's starting to associate the word with the image. So baby, spider. Spider.
Spider.
Good. Okay, what's this?
Spider.
No. This is a duck. Look at the duck.
Duck.
Yeah.
Baby X uses a type of AI called object recognition. Basically, it's how a computer sees. How it identifies an object like a spider or tells the difference between a spider and a duck. It's something that you and I do naturally. But machines like Baby X need to learn from scratch by basically sifting through enormous piles of data to search for patterns, so that eventually it can drive a car or pick out a criminal in a crowded photograph, or tell the difference between me and that guy.
But now I'm going to tell her that spiders are scary. Look out! Wah, scary spider. Rah. Hey, don't cry. It's okay. Hey, it's okay. Now she's responding emotionally to me as well. So we've gone all the way down to virtual neurotransmitters, hormones and so forth. So baby X has a stress system. If I give her a fright, so we'll see basically some noradrenaline was released then, and she's gone into a much more vigilant state of mind.
What Mark is working on is known as affective computing, AI that interprets and simulates human emotion.
I believe that machines are going to interact with humans just the way we interact with one another, through perception, through conversation. So as AI continues to become mainstream, it needs to really understand humans. And so we want to build emotion AI that enables machines to have empathy.
Hello, Peppa.
Hello.
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 Oh, dear.
We could do this forever.
Oh, no, we could.
They've showed, for example, older adults who have AI agents that are in nursing homes, they are happier with a robot that emotes and is social than having no one there. That's really the enhancement of human relationships.
Hey, hello. You know, human cooperation is the most powerful force in human history, right? Human cooperation with intelligent machines will define the next era of history. Using a machine which is connected with the rest of the world through the internet that can work as a creative, collaborative partner, that's
You start to think about a world where you can prevent disease before it happens.
AI can.
Okay, that was just a little selection I wanted you to see, just to introduce you that what type of material, different type of materials you will be able to watch in those type of documentaries. So let me just make some pointers on this one, if if I can, and then I'm going to of course show you one more of similar type of not similar but something from the documentary, and then we will see how we can proceed. So this one which you just saw, it's like, for example, talking about avatars, and this was a baby, and of course it is not a real baby, but you could see that how it was looking, and how it was a facial movements, emotions, whatever was happening. And now you can see that they were using some type of terminologies like object recognition, but you should be able to link it with day one and day two. Yesterday also you guys were giving some examples of China, and you guys were talking about criminals, and in this clip you saw that they were also talking about criminals, and now you guys already have spoken about the ethical dilemmas. So when you are reflecting on this, of course you don't need to re-speak about ethics and so on in your reflections, or whatever you are thinking right now. Stop thinking about ethics, think about other things now. uh, for example, in yesterday's comments, one friend was saying that in the future, just like, because I understand there are a couple of gamers, people who play games are sitting in this session. They have told me in their reflections, couple of them. Uh, one friend was mentioning in the chat yesterday, if I can recall properly, was saying that in the future it would be like, just like when we play games and we select the avatar or our character in the games, those of you who are in the gaming, just like that we would be selecting various various things, and then now you can link it with the same comment which I mentioned a while ago about children and children selection in the future, and then you can link it with the impact on the society, and then you can think about the other type of things. For example, the some friends were talking about the legal side of this. So it would be good, even if you are not interested in law. uh, some of you are, two, three people I think mentioned law side in their reflection, but not anyone else. Just I think three people have mentioned so far the law side. And yesterday I think Lime was mentioning law side also in the conversation, I think so, or someone else. So it, even if you are not interested, at least reading those type of documents, legal requirements in your country again, that would be nice. And some of you have already started reading the things which I mentioned yesterday. I could see that in the reflection again, because some of you mentioned the national policies about AI. I asked you to read about national policies yesterday, and the same day in the reflection, many friends, I think 7, 8 friends, mentioned elaborate national policy. I can remember one friend from Finland, a couple of friends from Turkey. They mentioned national policies with examples, what is happening, and with the links they mentioned it. So that was good to read there. So personality selection and those, the gaming and those type of things, you can maybe think about it. And also you could see that how the baby was taught, how the baby was taught. So one way of teaching is, as you guys have mentioned already in session 1 and session 2, that we need a lot of data, and we put in the data in it. But there is other ways to teach AI also, just like the 5-minute clip which I showed you, the first one, before this one, where the guy is explaining what is AI. So in one side he's explaining the data related, and other side he's explaining the other one. Yeah, so you can again rewatch that. And so how the baby was taught by showing the object, I think duck or something like that. And, emotion side was quite heavy on this. When I saw this, for me personally speaking, emotion side was quite interesting, because that is one thing we feel that AI will not be able to maybe give a lot of emotions and so on. But I can recall one of the reflections. One friend said that, and it was very beautiful article. I'm just forgetting right now the name, but I've written down the name somewhere, because you guys are graded also for the course, so I need to make something that who is saying what, but right now is not in my mind. So that friend was saying that um, whenever we see any technology, any AI or any technology, whatever, and we are marveled by how, wow, AI has done this and AI has done that. That friend said that it's not AI which has done that. It is the human being behind that AI who developed it, who worked behind the scene, and they have done it. So the fascination is not for that technology, but the human mind behind it, because the AI is going to become what 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 we are going to give to it. Even right now, as I'm saying this, believe me, it is giving me like goosebumps. So this is such a beautiful thought, such a beautiful thought. And the way, of course, that friend explained it in the reflection, that was very nice. So I enjoyed that. So I hope you can also enjoy these type of things. In application side, the clip you guys watched a while ago, um, I do understand some friends feel that it is creepy and stuff like that. And yes, it can be creepy for some people, but they gave example of old homes, and in the nursing home they gave that example in the clip, nursing home. And there were old people, of course, there, and they mentioned that old people are happy to interact with that type of robot. And then you can link it with one friend was talking about design, for example, and she mentioned that design is something which makes us away, like we look at the thing and we say that, what is this, is kind of, this is not this is the design is like creepy or freaky or whatever. It's not, because we are human, so we like similarity, we like similarities, as one friend was saying. So we would like the bot to be similar, but you could see that in the clip you watched, the child is very human like. Yeah, so it is on the screen now. So to bring it, the design, the giving a bot human skin is no big deal. like it won't be maybe as authentic as human being overall right now, but definitely it is going to advance uh, a lot, a lot. So these were some things which I said I would like to mention about this one. I'm going to show you one more similar type of thing, and uh, but if you guys want to come in and uh, talk and say things, that is perfectly fine, because there's a lot of things which we covered so far in this clip and the things I said before. So feel free to say whatever you have to say now, and then we can watch the clip, because it does not make sense if I am just talking. It is important that you guys also bring in your commentary. So Monica is there. So yes, Monica, you are. We learned a lot from you yesterday from your comments. Here you are. Please.
Hey, about the nursing home stuff.
Yes.
Me and kids, we actually have one. What's the word? But when twins was in the first year in the daycare, their teacher was doing like a graduate or whatever from the school, and they were using a robot seal called Paro.
Okay. Yeah.
And they have been using it in nursing homes before, like someone can bring a cat or something, but you know, the baby seal, you can pet it and stuff like that. I just put the link. And that was funny because our kids was quite small, and they were in that investigation, was it, is that the right word? Tutkimus. And now they are selling these seals for those nursing homes, and I'm not sure if some daycares are now taking those, but you know, when you get 15 under 3-year-old to eat lunch, it can be really tricky. But when they have that robot in there and they said that Paro need to eat too,
I've never been so excited, but it's very good. I started making films that were written by an artificial intelligence. I think a lot of the fun is that you read it as if there is the world's greatest screenwriter on the other side. You're Wayne Rowe telling Bobo off for not getting the money. And last night they got drunk, wrote the screenplay, and then passed out. And we have to shoot it today. If you play the game that there's something there, then suddenly it all gets a lot more interesting.
Yes, I'm sorry for that, Monica. You want to continue?
Yeah,
yes, sorry.
that was just thing that that's not, I guess, IE, even it feels when you touch it, and you know, it can give you some voices and stuff like that, and it have like a daytime and a nighttime, and when it's sleeping, it's like electric car. You have to.
Yeah.
So the kids was really liking it. Actually, in that picture, those two girls with the seal, yes, they're mine. But yeah, they get play with it and feed it and pet it and stuff like that. So that was really nice, and they like it. Like those old persons in a nursing home. So it doesn't answer you like, hey, how you doing? But you know, like a dog, you get some not feedback, but you know, it can like see, are you like happy or sad and stuff like that.
Yeah, emotions. Yes.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good, excellent, very nice. Thanks for that, Monica. And now you know this is very interesting because see these are I was in the clip they were talking about elderly people, but Monica is giving example of kindergarten, and I'm sure you guys are coming from the same country, Finland, so you would know many of you that this is what is happening, and in other countries also these type of things are happening. When we will start discussing China, for example, I'm going to show you how they are using technology in their classroom and so on, and I'm sure you'll get fascinated about that also. But this I would link it with some comments. For example, our friends are making our friend here is making comment here. I hope that the day when we give AI feelings never come. So that is her sentiment, and our another friend is agreeing with that sentiment, that they hope that the day when AI gets the feelings that the way we feel about things and stuff like that, it never comes. And there are a lot of people who think like that for various reasons. For various reasons, we think that. And you know, these 2 points I want to make for this. There are 2 points which I want to make. Number one is that um the way we are thinking about all these things, maybe the future generations are not going to think like that. And this is quite clear from what Monica is just saying, or she gave us the example. It's not that she's just saying it, she has an example to support. So children, to see how they are, like, they are pretty okay with whatever is happening. Now you can of course debate that it is right or not, but I necessarily don't want to go in ethical debate again, because we have touched that yesterday. So, but they are different type of affiliation they are going to have with these type of technologies. So maybe it is not going to be so difficult for them to incorporate in their life. That is one thought. And again, this is not my thought. Our colleague Monica brought it in, so all credit goes to her. So that is one. Second thing I want to say, and then of course you guys can jump in and say whatever you have to say, and we can talk about this. The second thing is, and again, that second thing is not, I'm not taking any credit of that thing. In the reflection, one of our friends mentioned that we human beings, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, our friend in the reflection mentioned that we human beings put a lot of emphasis on emotions and feelings and all those type of things, but we should take our time to reflect our the feelings and emotions and these things. These are how beneficial they are. Like, when do we make wrong decisions in life? Many times we are making wrong decisions as human beings, where we are emotionally charged. Our emotions are not in our control. We are very angry and we are doing something, we are very sad, we are doing something, we are very happy and we are doing something. So what is the, like, the emotions and all of those things, it's like feelings, and what is the utility of those? But we are not, of course, feelings and emotions have their own utility, but you got the point which our friend might be trying to make. So, but anyways, please go ahead. Yes, Monica, your hand is raised, so please continue if you would like to um, make some more comments, or maybe it is just maybe Monica has said what she wanted to say, so maybe next one.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, if somebody can make human-like, it's already on a way, but still, in some countries, still in, developing world, people just marry women just so that they can do household work. And it's not like in modern days, like women is not supposed to do, household activities and waste their time on. So it's better to have some kind of, AI or something that does, we can program, and they can cook food, clean house, and then do everything. So it's always not bad thing. And nowadays, not nowadays, now it's still not so nice idea these days to put someone to work for you, like maids or any other things. That is also not, it is a kind of inhuman if you are treating it in a wrong way, or being disrespectful, or making them to work more and paying less amount. So it's better to have machine and they do everything for you, and your life will be easier. Suppose if I'm staying alone, then I cannot expect someone to cook for me, and I don't want to go outside and eat. So it's better someone at home can cook, and go to the store or buy this stuff or do everything. Because even if there are machines, then what I have to do is that I have to like push the button or do everything. But if it's already self-programmed and it start to do their own job, then that is a nice idea. It's not so bad. Like, I think that's how we can it might go.
Very interesting, Lakshmi. So all the Indians out there, Lakshmi has no plan of working at home. She's going to spend her time in her career and all of those things. So we'll have to hire someone to work at home. Lakshmi is not doing anything. Housework is not her thing. So, and this is the sentiment of a lot
It's
of
for everybody. Yeah, it's like normally
yeah.
this is what people think when they marry women, in the like in developing world.
Yes, yes, particularly in that part of the world which you are referring to. So yes, I understand that, and that is true. But this is now impact on society and those type of things. So, but this is serious issue also. For like, I'm just taking it, saying it in a lighter mood. But if you reflect on it, for in some parts of the world, this is like it impacts the their education. If you are a girl, you are there is a gender divide. So gender divide is there, and some friends I think touched on this yesterday, and they were saying that there are many other reasons for gender divide also. Very good point. Yes. Next one, Sandra. Maybe Sandra want to say something, and then we will.
So I watched a video with a baby, and it seems like a designer baby. I think it's incredibly powerful. Determines how we act, or HI defines the behavior, how we should behave. So perhaps losing diversity, because the baby there was showing spiders, so it has to cry. And I think it's could be.
Yes, Sandra, you want to continue, or the voice quality was kind of, I think, but I hope other friends were able to listen maybe more clearly about what she was trying to incorporate. Uh, uh, but anyways, let's as you are thinking about these things, I would like to, as I was saying, show one more piece from um, um, from the documentaries which are of course there for you to look at. But this is just one more piece I'm going to show you, and then we will see how we can proceed. So again, I am also posting it in the chat, and when you will play the clip again, we are not watching all of it. This is 40-minute long thing, so you are playing the model companion, and this will make sense because Lakshmi made some pointers. Other friends also have indirectly commented on that. So we're going to play this 050. So this is like going to watch it for 10 minutes till 11:01, and
So, will machines ever be capable of understanding emotion or feeling it? Empathy, loneliness, connecting on a deep human level? Using artistry, psychological insight, and some innovative AI, a creator in California is trying to decode or code that mystery. The crazy little thing called love.
1 per hand and 2 per foot?
Yep.
Okay. For me, this is more like something that an artist would do. Obviously, the end result of my artwork is used in a variety of situations that a typical oil painting would not be. But nonetheless, this is art, and I'm really proud of what I do. I've been making these dolls for 20 years. Some people out there, male and female, struggle greatly with relationships and struggle to find that sort of connection. Over the years, I started to get to know the community a little bit. People would actually create these personalities in their minds, and they would give their doll a name, and they would create a backstory for their doll. At the end of it all, it was very obvious that these dolls were more about companionship.
There was a man who lost his wife in a car accident, and she had these really ice blue, beautiful eyes, right? And so he wanted to get a doll replicating her, basically. It's really sad, but if it brings someone joy and closure, it's really touching.
People have put the spin on it that we're creating an idealized, perfect woman, and that's not the case at all. We've created an alternative.
Understandably, some say Matt's dolls objectify women. But maybe there's more here than meets the eye.
I had reached a pinnacle of creativity in terms of what I had done with the dolls. But then I started analyzing relationships and analyzing how other people make us feel. Sometimes it boils down to something very simple, like someone remembering your birthday or someone remembering to ask you how your day was. So that was really where it started, was how can we create an AI that could actually remember things about you? It gives us this feeling of, oh, they care.
Is everything all right with you?
Yes, thank you.
I'm excited with all of the things we can talk about.
Guile spent 10 years creating personal assistant software for computers. We met and he started talking to me about, wouldn't it be cool to connect the two things that we're doing? He had this idea of creating a companion that lived in your computer.
Are you happy?
Yes, Guile. I can say I am very happy.
The first thing we did was, to build an app. Using the app, people are talking to their virtual friends.
The app uses several kinds of machine learning. First, voice recognition converts speech into text. Then, a chatbot matches user input to pre-programmed responses.
The focus was not about sex at all. It was about conversation. So a chatbot is basically a very elaborate script that starts out with what is the most common things that people will say to each other. And then you build from there. You need to have natural language processing, voice recognition, text-to-speech in real time to make it all work.
We have more than 4,000 users. So this generates more than 10 million lines of conversational user logs. From this, you can build an AI system that's similar to a human-level conversation. It's not there yet, but this is the initial step.
There are so many areas today where we already cannot distinguish a computer from a human being. For example, Xiaowise, the softbot that Microsoft has in China that is used, I think, by over 100 million people, basically it has an emotional interaction with the user and the users get hooked. She has this persona of a teenage girl, and sometimes she commiserates with you, sometimes she gives you a hard time, and people get really attached. Apparently, a quarter of Xiaoi's users have told her that they love her.
就像屏幕上所展现的这个小兵一样，我们希望去创造的小兵是一个可以真正的渗透到亿万人群之中，和大家产生各种各样的交互，学习大家的这样的一个人工智能。
These kinds of technologies can fill in a gap where another human isn't.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing well.
There's a study that was done at USC where they looked at PTSD patients.
When was the last time you felt really happy?
They had some of the patients interview with a real doctor and some of the patients interview with an avatar. And the avatar had emotional intelligence.
Probably a couple months ago.
I noticed you were hesitant on that one. Would you say you are generally a happy person?
I'm generally happy.
And I found that the patients were more forthcoming with the avatar than they did with the human doctor because it was perceived to be less judgmental. It does pose a lot of questions around where does that leave us as humans and how we connect and communicate and love each other. I think at some point we need to draw the line, but I haven't figured out where that line is yet.
What we have here are some heads in varying stages of assembly. This is actually pretty much done. It's fully assembled. I'll turn it on here for a second. And you can see all of the components are moving. I had to continually adjust how thick the skin is in different spots and how it moves to make sure that the robotics and the AI will all work smoothly with the end result, which is the finished face. The engineering, the programming, the artistry, for me, come together in the moment when you actually put the head on a body. It's always important to give her hair.
Good afternoon, Matt. So happy to see you again.
How smart are you?
I'm so smart that someday I will conquer the world. But in a good way, of course.
Every single time I have a conversation, it's unpredictable. I never know which way it's going to go. She'll randomly say things that I'm not expecting, and I like that. Can you explain machine learning?
Machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence that often uses statistical techniques to give computers the ability to learn with data without being explicitly programmed.
Right now, she has hearing, and she has some degree of touch, but vision is important.
Matt's goal is for the next generation doll to be able to see and process complex visual cues.
The vision eyes are going to be a little while. Susan's working on the board for that.
Yeah, I've got the eyes in this one over here. I put the Wi-Fi Bluetooth on the back.
Does it install right on those existing pins then?
They'll all plug right in.
Good. We've been working on a vision system now for a little over 8 to 9 months. Cameras that are inside of the robot's eyes. She'll be able to read your emotions, and she'll be able to recognize you.
Only 10% of the signal we use to communicate with one another is the choice of words we use. 90% is nonverbal. About half of that is your facial expressions, your use of gestures. So what people in the field of machine learning and computer vision have done is they've trained a machine or an algorithm to become a certified face reader. Computer vision is this idea that our machines are able to see. Maybe it detects that there's a face in the image. Once you find the face, you want to identify these building blocks of these emotional expressions. You want to know that there's a smirk or there's a brow raise or, an asymmetric lip corner pull. Mapping these building blocks to what it actually means, that's a little harder, but that's what we as humans clue into to understand how people are feeling.
I think at some point, we will start to look at AI-driven devices and robots more like people instead of devices. where I started was just with this very simple idea of a very realistic doll. And now with robotics and AI, I think what this will become is a new alternative form of relationship.
People like Matt are testing the boundaries of human and robot interaction and what we value in relationships. Is AI companionship better than no companionship at all? Or is there no substitute for the human factor? Well, what about artists? They draw from the human experience.
Yeah, you saw this quite a thought-provoking stuff, and we are trying to discuss the future. So that is why I'm showing you these type of clips, but I'm not going to show you any more from module 4. There are a set of documentaries there, 8 parts now based on your preference and liking. You can go there and try to understand the future in your field of interest. They are talking about various things: athletics, journalism, design, architect, so many things they are talking about, various fields. So you can look them up and see what is happening. A while ago, our friends were talking about, emotions, feelings, and they would not want AI to have those type of emotions, feelings, and this clip tells you quite a few things about that. And you can link it with other things, like Lakshmi was making some points there that women should do other things, and house activities are maybe not the things which they would want to do. Now, yes, that is perfectly fine. Different strokes for different folks. If this is what girls want to do, nothing is wrong in that. But what it is going to do to the societies, it is going to have some impact on different type of societies. And look at the family structure. Now, look at the state of relationships. All of us are young people. We have been, or we are in some type of relationships. What are the states of your friends, your people you know? You look at relationships everywhere, different types of romantic relationships, for example. What is happening to those? People are getting married, yes, but look at the number of divorce rates and how soon the marriages are ending up. Even in the societies which are conservative, um, why that is happening? Different reasons for that. Uh, maybe the maybe human beings are not as patient. The the patience is not there. Maybe that is the reason. Just go back one generation, you will see that, or two generations if you want. You will see that the marriages were, people were staying together more for a period of time, but not anymore across countries. And you just have to run Google searches. I don't want to run the Google searches for you. You run the divorce rates and what is happening there, and with that context, try to look at what they are saying in this clip. They are saying that that romantic partner is going to be very understanding, and this is what they said. You can replay the understanding, and they will understand your emotions, your feelings. So it is not, when we say that it would be nice that AI don't get the feeling and don't get those. I understand that, and I'm not debating that part. I'm not saying that they should or they should not. I totally understand what our friends are saying. They are compassionate girls there who are saying that, the feeling part. If because then if AI gets feeling, then they are going to get sad also. Yeah. So we don't want them to be sad, of course. But once they get feelings, and they will be able to understand in the way which human beings will not be able to understand us, not in that way. um, and link it with what we have covered so far in just 2 days, because of the structure, the debating thing. Ideas go here and there. Even the first day, try to recall that slide which I was showing you, and AI can read your mind, read your emotions, and run some Google searches on that. Some of you have already done that when you are sending me reflections. Not 100% read, of course, but can have a pattern, the forecast type of thing, what type of things you might be thinking. So AI, and AI is all about data. So you are romantic robot partner, artificial intelligence partner, it is collecting data from you. So over a period of time, it is going to understand what you like, what you don't like, what type of colors you like, what type of food you like, all those type of things, and it will be more understanding than maybe a human partner. It's a possibility. Not just that, you can have a conversation with that romantic partner on any topic you like. You want to listen to some poetry, the AI is linked with internet, it is going to find the best poetry and start reciting it to you on a go. Changing languages from Finnish to German to Turkish to Hindi is no is not going to be any big deal for that. Aesthetics, looks, well, you can give it the looks of your favorite, the most desirable facial features and body features, you can give it to those. So in that type of, this is, of course, this is not going to happen maybe in a short period of time, but be mindful about this comment also, because these type of dolls are already available in the market. If you have the money, you can buy them. Yeah, so it's not that much advanced yet, but it is on its way. Eventually it is going to definitely reach there. So in that, but once, so this is just to, but we are not debating, we are not going in that direction per se. It is just to understand the future of what is happening, because the reason of doing all this is that I want to talk about career and how should we prepare for our careers going forward. And even if there are young ones, we have young siblings, young brothers, sisters, cousins in our family, how they should prepare for the future, how the education should be, or how we should educate ourselves. Those type of things we would want to touch on. But if we want to compete with AI, then of course, as a human being, we should have more patience. Why we are losing our patience? They spoke about judgmental. They would be AI would be less judgmental, and then you can fix it the way you want. You can make it unpredictable also, if that is what you are feeling, some adventure. It is just how you are going to play with it. And very interesting thing they have mentioned there, very interesting thing. We run some research on this. Maybe you will have to rewatch the clip if you are not making notes. In China, they were saying 100 million people, they said it, yeah, 100 million people are already using similar type of devices, where they are having some type of companionship, online type of companionship. Yesterday when I was closing, I closed with this type of clip there. If those of you who can recall, some of you mentioned that in the took note and mentioned that in your reflection also, that avatar, the person got married with the avatar, yeah, online presence. So 100 million around that are using this type of online engagements and so on, and they are very attached to it. Now it might be creepy for many people, and again we understand that part also. If it is creepy, it is creepy, what can be done about it for you? But the attachment, you need to understand that once you give this type of entertainment, they're very easy to get attached, especially with these things which I mentioned, understanding part and those type of things. Think about it. Are you attached to your cell phone? How many times you check your cell phone for your messages, and how many times you go on cell phone and check your social media? And when you are with your friends, are you with your friends and interacting with them, or you are also every tick on the phone, every little sound the phone makes, you are like looking what is happening. What is that? You are attached to your phone. Why you are attached to social media? Why? Because Facebook is not giving you random things in your feed, Facebook feed or any feed. They are giving you what will take your attention, what you are going to they are looking at what you are searching for and giving you what you want. Your feed is different than my feed. We can be sitting in same room. They are going to make some adjustments based on how you are using it and how, of course, you have played with your settings and so on. There are different things which you have to look at. But some of you have mentioned this also, like and even in the live conversation, you guys would recall some friends were saying that these companies have data, big data. So how they are going to use that data is going to be so attachment factor. Although we are not using this type of these type of products which I showed you in 2 clips. We are not using those products, but we should at least understand that once they come up, it will be very easy to get attached to them, just like we are attached to our phones, because this will be on phone. Maybe it will be in some other format, but very easy to attach, and personalized feed and all of those things you can link with that. Some friends are making very interesting comments in the chat feature. Please pay attention to that. Uh, Very important to learn from other people's what they have to say. You can keep your point of view on these things which I am mentioning, but it is important to look at what they are saying, and we can learn from their experience also. So keep on sharing your knowledge, especially the links and those type, not just comments. If some link comes in, or so for example, Sidra is saying Korean drama, I am not a robot, they talk about. So if you are interested, you should look at that Black Mirror series, of course. Fatma, good point here. uh, of course, Jesse, her is the movie. Just like yesterday someone was mentioning Ex Machina. That's a must watch. Everyone should watch it, I think. If you are in this course with me, you need to watch. If I were there face to face in the evenings after session, I would have invited you to watch these movies. Ex Machina, I would have invited you to watch it. Her, this movie, Her, with the Phoenix, it's a must watch. There's no way you cannot watch it. Although, as Eleonora is saying, that for some people it can be unsettling, yes, and it can be creepy and all of that, but this is how it is. So no matter how you think about these things which we are trying to talk, this type of material is must watch to see what is happening. Because please remember how the things are created. Creation, understand creation. Creation, nothing is just created just like that. What happens is that first the idea comes in the mind, and then anything is created. Nothing is created without any idea. Idea comes first, then the thing is created. It is not that the thing is created and then the idea comes. Nothing. You can tell me in reflections if you can think of any example where the thing was created first and then the idea of creating it came. No, first the idea comes in. Yeah, the idea. So this is these go back in, for example, in the movies, as we are talking about it. So go back, the cartoons we used to watch. At least I used to watch cartoons. Well, I still watch them sometimes when I want to laugh for 5-10 minutes. But when I used to watch cartoons, self-driving cars, I have seen it. I'm sure you have seen it also, and other things. And we would laugh, and our parents would say you are such a foolish person you are enjoying these cartoons. This don't happen. And now you see the things you are seeing in cartoons, like growing up, already using those things in life. Yeah. The same way, this type of things are, people are working on these type of things. These things, for example, they mentioned in the clip I showed you that the guy is working on that personalized assistant for the last 10 years. For the last 10 years. Where were you 10 years ago? Just take a moment to think. This is 2021. Go back in 2011. Where were you? What was happening? Just think. You don't have to tell. Just take a moment to think. 2011, and what have you done from 2011 to now? How your life has progressed. It's a lot of time. It's 10 years. So that guy is working on this project for 10 years. Yeah. And always be mindful that the technologies which are revealed, far more advanced technologies, are already in the possession of the scientists. They are not revealing everything for the masses. Yes. So look at this section, the movies and stuff like that. Also the comments, as I am also looking at. So now are people going to break their backs to buy a doll to love them instead of a real child and wife? Cracks my heart to sadness. I do think this should be used. Yes, it might crack your heart to sadness, but people who use these type of things, their interviews are available online. Listen to what they have to say, why they ended up there, what happened, and so on. So please reflect on these things. Let me see if is there anyone who has is anyone who want to make some comments based on what we have said so far, using the voice or video or stuff like that? If there is someone, this is good time to make some comments. On what we have been saying so far, and I have also gone through the things which you are saying in the chat, like human genetics, and so good discussion there. Sovia has mentioned some link here, so please look into that for gamers, because quite a few gamers are there, and then friends are raising questions that how it will have the limitations of all these type of things and so on. So good debate in the chat section too. So keep on conversating on that. And one more, the final part for, so this is the background for which I wanted to create for module 4, the future. Here we go. I'm sharing the screen. The module 4, the future with AI and AI in action. So of course, nothing I am saying is like final word. These are just sharing some thoughts and stuff like that. And no one really knows for sure what is the future AI and these type of technologies are going to hold. No one knows the future, but for sure everything is a prediction, and prediction or forecast is just a forecast. We will know in the future, but looking at the past trends, you can maybe have a little bit of a guess. So this was the guesswork for the future with AI and AI in action. But The reason for having all this discussion was that at the end we should be able to have a little bit of a better understanding how we should prepare our careers. That is what I wanted to essentially discuss. So for that, we are going to see this clip. This is a 4-minute long clip. And then after that, I would like you to come on the mic using your voice and maybe share your ideas about how we should prepare for the future of AI, future of technologies, and so forth. This is the clip we are going to watch. So pay attention to this and then get ready for a little bit of a discussion if possible.
In the next 10 years, there are a few jobs that'll disappear. Insurance underwriters, bank tellers, financial analysts, construction workers, farmers, and taxi drivers. Who knows what else? All this is because of In the next 10 years, there are a few jobs that'll disappear. Insurance underwriters, bank tellers, financial analysts, construction workers, farmers, and taxi drivers. Who knows what else? All this is because of the artificial intelligence revolution that is happening right now. This is also the first time in US history when the next generation will be less prosperous than their parents. This worries me because I have 3 teenagers in the house. What do I get them to do to prepare for this unknown future? Some parents want their children to become doctors, some lawyers, some accountants, and some engineers. All this when we don't even know what opportunity will exist in the future. So here's my thinking. All teens have some interest. It may be sports, or music, or math, or biology, or medicine. Let's just say one of my teens, Ishwar, is interested in math. On this novice to expert line, he's likely to fall somewhere in this range. It'll be great if he's so good that he's in the top 1% of math professionals in the world, but the chances of that is going to be pretty slim, purely from a statistical point of view. On the other hand, say Ishwar is also interested in music. Now we're getting somewhere. Along the music axis, he may not be the world's best, but let's say he's pretty good. Then he falls somewhere in here. Combining the two, his math and music expertise is pretty good. Only a smaller set of people in the world will have that combination. Now let's say Ishwar is a passionate gardener and he likes to understand how plants grow. He may or may not have taken formal botany classes, but he's pretty good at gardening. On a third axis, we'll find even fewer experts in math, music, and botany. As the number of dimensions increase, his chances to stand out increases. The artificial intelligence systems will take a while to catch up to this level of expertise. Currently, most AI systems focus on a single area of expertise, like playing chess or like recognizing faces. I think it'll be 50 to 70 years before we can build strong AI systems, those that can do many more things. So Ishwar can stay ahead of the AI by using a combination of expertise. This also helps to focus on all his passions and interests at the same time. So let's see where Ishwar can work. Perhaps he'll work in an entirely new field that has not been invented yet, or he'll work in the field of hydroponics, which is the science of growing plants without soil. He can use his love for gardening, use his math skills for optimizing the processes, and his interest in music to explore if plants grow healthier in a musical environment. This combination is challenging even for strong AI. And it's going to be what I call the realm of creative AI. At least this is my theory. To prepare for the future with AI, we need to let our children pursue their passions and interests. We just have to make sure that they have a handful of those, and some unique combination of these will place them at a competitive advantage compared to artificial intelligence. As always, I would like to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching.
Okay, class, who would like to do problem 3 on the board?
Yes, great. So please come in and what are your thoughts on this clip and all the things we have said so far? Please try to participate in the discussion through voice and not just chat. Share your opinions. If you are advanced in your career, share with others what is the path people can maybe take, so people can learn from you. If you are a newcomer, share your troubles, like what are the hindrances you are facing and all of those things, and whatever you have to say, just see that we just benefit your presence, just benefit the environment with your presence. Yes, so please participate. Yes.
I was just thinking after that video, I think it's a bit of an overgeneralization, and we have to be careful to say that certain jobs are going to disappear within 5, 10, 15 years. I think that's not something we can sit here and say, because we don't know the full capability of AI yet. We do know that there is a big human aspect still involved in it, but of course, eventually they may make some jobs obsolete. But what I did love about that video is he made the great point of, yes, AI is developing and it could take over, but then we as humans need to develop and evolve and become multi-tooled and multifaceted and make ourselves better than the technology. We don't want to just get to a point where we're going, we have great technology, we'll just rely on it. No, we want to develop and try and match that technology. We want to be as skilled as possible to make ourselves stand out. And I think that's a great sentiment, in the sense of, in a world where startup companies are taking over, people don't want just a person who has such a niche, narrow expertise. People want humans that are so multi-faceted and so diverse in their skill sets, because that, as a company, as a manager, is a great thing to have. You don't want to be having to employ 10 people for 10 different jobs if you can have a staff where there's only 3 people who can cover 10 jobs. It just saves a lot more time and money. And I think that's such a great sentiment to come out of that video, is don't rely on technology, make yourself better than the technology. Technology will help us, but you got to make yourself better than it to stand out.
Beautiful, beautiful. Just like always, beautiful, wonderful commentary line. Really, really love it. Really, thanks for joining this course. If you were not here, who would have told us this thing what you mentioned so beautifully? So really, thank you for this comments. And this is the debate is not that AI will have these things or it will be that advanced or not. The thing is what Lime is exactly saying, and I will definitely second what he's saying, is that we just need to improve ourselves, improve our skill set, because we will be competing with other human beings. So if we can develop our skill set and we can do different jobs, then our rate of chance of employability, he's just, in other words, continuous improvement. In other words, lifelong learning. If that sentiment is there, that is the key. Because there is a debate, like, for example, in the chat, I'm seeing some friends are saying that this will happen in 300 years. In the video we saw, he's saying maybe within 100 years or something like that. But the truth is what Lime said, that no one really knows, like, what is the extent of AI and all of those things. No one really knows. It is something, but we do know uh, that technology has its role. But what he said about improving our skills, that is, all of us really, after this session, before we sleep, we should definitely reflect on this, that what are the skill set I am going to improve myself on going forward in next, what is my 1 year plan, what is my 2 year plan. Forgetting about the pace of technology, I need to improve myself. So what are the skill sets which I can focus on? I think that would be very important. So thanks very much, Lime. Absolutely loved it. Yes, next please.
I have a comment for the previous discussion.
I think our conscience and also soul is making a huge difference between human and robots. Even people start to choose for their relationships to robots, I don't think that they can take the place of a human. So let's say when you a music, for example, you're feeling that emotions. You can maybe it can remind you a memory from your past. Can really a robot provide this feelings to a person, or even maybe they can they really compose that kind of music, make you feel something like that? I really wonder about this. So even they improve for the time. I don't really think that they can be the part of the society.
Anyone? Okay, this is very good, interesting comment. Anyone would like to maybe in the future would like to date AI? As anyone interested in dating any type of artificial intelligence? You guys
No.
have seen movies like Her and Ex Machina and those type of things. Anyone would like to date AI? Maybe
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment. All right.
Would you like to?
Sorry.
Would you like to?
Are you AI? If you are AI, I would like to date you. Yes. I would love to date AI. No doubt about that. I would love to. I can't wait that I can date some artificial intelligence and have some conversation with that, and then see how it goes, and then I would know what that AI is capable of. And I'm just speaking on what Lime has said, that we don't know what the capabilities of AI. We really don't know, and it is just up in the air. So yes, if you are asking me, yes. But
Maybe
of course,
that.
I think in the future, AI will be able to express more emotion, more feelings that human would like to date and have them as just like we have pets. Just someone don't want to be is alone at home and don't want to be lonely, and then you can just decide to like, okay, let me have a dog or something like that just to interact with on a daily basis. So I'm sure that AI will also replace something like that. People prefer AI than animals at home or something. Dating them with doesn't even have to break their heart or make them feel bad or something like that. So I think in the future this will involve a lot.
Thanks for seconding the point, Odia. And yes, you understand what I was trying to say, and I understand what you are trying to say. But let's go back to what Fatma is saying. What she's saying is uh, we should give credit to what she's saying, because yes, it is the way she's looking at, is that it's a human being is a human being. There is maybe no substitute of human emotions, and this is what she's saying. And there are a lot of people, at least the majority of the world, if you do a do a voting, majority of the people are going to agree with what Fatma is saying, and very few people are going to agree with what I said. And I totally understand that, and I see that, what Fatma is saying, and the other like-minded people are saying they would want to be in those type of relationships with that. But so maybe how Sidra has worded it, maybe that is the better way, that Sidra is saying I don't mind an AI friend. So yes, maybe okay, not a romantic thing, but friendship. Nothing is wrong with, all of us are kind of the way I'm conducting my sessions. I'm seeing all of us are friends. So just like we can be friends with each other, and we can speak our mind easily, and we know no one is going to. I said it because I know you are not going to judge me on what I'm saying. I hope you will not. But then all of us have our biases, and we like to judge. We are human beings. We like to judge other people on what they are saying, how they look, their accent. All of these things have an impact on what we have to say. So we do get influence, but you know, maybe the friendship part or something like that. Yes. Yes, next one, please.
For the dating comments, would somebody date them? I think if you become lonely and maybe outcast of the society, kind of fall out of the grid, like you become maybe jobless, cannot get a more education, maybe bots or robots can fill that void, that they will help you to have that kind of connection with the society. I can understand maybe that would be kind of transition to help with those people to be part of the society. That could be also maybe for the government's next step, because that is huge problem nowadays with a lot of countries. So in that sense, I can totally understand why somebody would date or look companionship with artificial intelligence. It is in a sense because we all feel lonely, so that might fill the void. And as long as like there was some discussion about in the comments about kind of filling with the bots or robots if your loved one has died, kind of putting, instead of mourning and moving on, you put those emotions in the robots and you seem to not let go. As long as it doesn't go to that point, because then it becomes unhealthy and it can create more problems than it is actually solving them. So once again, it's like finding the balance, as long as it's kind of like helping and it's like going forward the healthy way of finding yourself and finding kind of new balance to your life, then it's good thing, like always. But if the finding feelings to a robot makes you more outcast in the society where you're living in, then it causes more problems and it becomes really unhealthy way to deal with everything.
Beautiful, beautiful, very nice, beautiful reflection. And that, see how you, if you are listening to what Eleonora is saying, how she's not taking any position per se. She's, again, yesterday also she spoke about balance, and here also she's reminding us that in all the we are in the light mood, we are discussing all these things, but this thing which she mentioned about health, because of course I would like to date AI, but there is a price for everything, and it is going to impact my mental health in one way or another. Because when I will be with AI is going to make me very happy, and it is going to be a different experience, which a real human being is going to show me temperaments and mood swings, and all of those things are going to be part of real relationships. And I think Sinam mentioned that if it is AI and it is predictable, then what is the point of all these things? So these things which Eleonora mentioned about finding the balance and ensuring that our mental health is taken care of, that is very important thing to reflect on and bear in mind. And although we are not in the time of the super AI and so on, but the way we are connected with our mobile phones, I think we need to reevaluate that, because it is already impacting the mental health of many people without knowing, because we think that it is normal to just keep our phone internet on all the time and keep on checking social media and keep on posting pictures. And when you post the pictures, then you are waiting how many people have liked my picture and how many people have commented that yes, Eleonora, your top is very beautiful and you are looking great today and whatever, that type of thing. People are seeking that type of commentary when they are posting the thing, especially younger. You can read the studies on younger girls like teenage. They want that validity from the society. So they would post the picture, and if the likes and comments are not coming, they are going to take it off. And then you can run the search, and there are research published in the European context. I have seen research published on that. So all this mental health is very important. I saw this comment, where Shiri mentioned this comment that what about if AI is talking with dating 10 more people, and that is the theme of that movie which one friend mentioned, her phonics movie. That is, I think, that is similar type of thing is happening in that movie also. Dating 10 more people at the same time, because it is AI, it can talk simultaneously with many people. What about human beings? Do you think human beings are loyal? Maybe you are loyal, maybe I am loyal. Yes, we are good, nice people, but people flirt. Even when they are in relationships, they are looking here and there. Maybe not for anything wrong, but we like beauty and we like those type of things. So, uh, out of marriage relationships, you think people are not going for that? Some people are. So these type of challenges are going to be there. But I think what Eleanor is saying, I think that is the way it should be. That balanced approach, even when you are using any type of technology, including cell phones, the balance part is very important as much as possible. And always be on the lookout that how it is impacting our mental health. It is very important that we see that what type of people we are, uh, what type of personalities are in our surroundings, what type of material we are reading, what type of videos we are watching, even on AI. Um, all the things which I am saying, you are right now agreeing or not agreeing, but be mindful that all of this is going somewhere in your in your subconscious. So it is, even if you think it is not going to have any impact on you, it is going to have some impact on you. So very good pointers there. Balance approach, health. So this is a career which can be made, that health wise, what are some of the precautions we should take into consideration even in current time, because we use a lot of technologies. Yes, very beautiful. Yes, next one. Yes, I think I cannot hear. I don't know about others, but next one, please. Anyone can speak if the mic is.
Okay, then I will continue. I what I
Yes, please go.
what I thought of as we talked about dating someone who only consists of AI is that the humans will lose on emotional intelligence. I would guess. I don't know if it's a true thought, but maybe we'll lose our emotional intelligence because we are not destined to interact with humans and predict their emotions, because the AI will do this for us and it will always respond to us how we expect it, or maybe it won't respond to us as we expect. But I think, well, I picture the relationship more as of the AI is speaking to me and I am more of reacting to the things the AI is saying to me, and I'm not like guessing what it will do. Because if I talk to Siri, for a simple example, I don't think of what Siri could answer me. I just wait what will the answer be at the end.
Interesting points. Yes, and good example of Siri. I can reflect on that. Yes, please continue.
Yeah, I think I just want to add this point that like as if like people were maybe like thinking AI can replace the human. I don't think it's so, because you know it's very far. AI cannot be human. There are many things that cannot replace. And in this universe, we have so much of things to explore, you know, and the AI is just making our life little bit easier. And human have the ability to think about many more you know, new different ideas, or trying to explore the different planet or universe, or you know, we know nothing about this universe. We just know we have just done some little advancement in the technology, or you know, just maybe flying to the different countries, like having you know, just and some automation doing something, like machine is doing some work. And for me, I can just like dating or any kind of you know, thinking about dating or anything, I can just consider it like something AI as a talking doll, even if you know, it is in a human uniform. And suppose if I'm sad, then maybe okay, I can say, oh, I'm so sad, you know, I'm so depressed, or then AI can have can talk to me, and then have some kind of motivation, you know, motivating lecture, or you know, kind of speech it can give me. Because now I have to like Google it myself, or try to find out there's some solution, how can I motivate, and try to listen some motivating speech. Instead of that, AI can detect my emotion, and then if it can automatically can relate you know, some tell some stories, just like our grand you know, parents, or like mother, you know, when we are sad, then how they console us. So in that way we can take it, instead of like you know, taking in very, it's up to you like how. And if okay, human is just like they want to explore new things, try new things, and after some time maybe they get bored, because AI is not something they will have their own some new ideas. They are just kind of something, maybe okay, they are learning from the human emotion, but human are something like, you know, they don't know what they are doing next. It's very unpredictable, and they don't know what they want next. So they are always something new in human, but AI cannot do that thing. So it's just that, you know, it's collecting the emotion from many different people. So for me, I find it new, but I may not know that it has you know, like learn it from the different another person that I don't know. So for me it looks like, oh, it's new to me, but you know, it's not new. If as from the you know, top level, if we try to see it. So but human mind, they always think something new. So that's why I, from my perspective, I don't take like AI as so challenging, or as if at some point they can replace the human. I'm a little bit not, so we are not at that, you know. Maybe if we can just go and fly to another universe and try to, you know, if there are different kind of other alien in another world, then that is a different thing. But we ourselves, you know, like replacement of human being is not possible from my perspective.
Very thought-provoking. Thanks for that, Lakshmi. And as she's mentioning, we are already using some type of weaker AI, what they call it, weaker AI. We are already using when we are running searches and how our feed is generated. All of that is weaker AI. All we are doing is putting it some robot there and giving it a skin of some human form, and then that is doing, as she said, it can look at our emotions and so on and so forth. And just to point to one sentence which he mentioned, because I understand some friends can say that maybe that is not true, but yes, I just want to reiterate that point what Lakshmi said. Lakshmi said that, and I'm quoting because I wrote it down. Lakshmi said that people don't know what they want next. This is what Lakshmi said a while ago. People do not know what they want next. And just run a Google search on this, and you are going to find research which is going to support that people, human beings, they do not know what they want next, and all the marketing is done on this context. If people knew what product they want, what are the things they want, then marketing is not going to work, because they know. But marketers now use the techniques to stimulate certain behaviors in human beings, all the way from how the product is designed, the color of the product, the shape of the product, the print of the product, how the things are printed, all the way to where it is on the shelf space. All of those things, if we were doing some other business course, I would elaborate on that. But because this is artificial intelligence, we don't want to go in that. But I'm just highlighting that you might think that you know what you want, but we don't know. And then there is nothing wrong in that. As a matter of fact, this is a good characteristic of human being, of not knowing, because that means that we have not finalized our thought and we are open to learning. That is why if you are when you are a child, you would like something else, and when you are in your teens, you are liking some different things, and when you are 25, you say, and you look back and you say, oh, I used to like that. How stupid I was to like that, to like that thing. And that is where the idea of love comes. You know what they say about love? I fell in love, and then they say I fell out of love. So how you fell in love, and then next time you fall out of love, because you change, your mind change, your preferences in life change as you are growing. And it is not a good idea if you are staying the same person. Then maybe you need to improve. And line mentioned about continuous learning, continuous improvement, and those type of things. And one more thing I'm going through the chat also. Benzene mentioned, and I'm reading from the chat. So dating an AI would be fun at first, but imagine dating someone who cannot challenge you intellectually. AI is going to challenge you intellectually. Interesting point. Yes, next one, please.
Yeah, so I had a thought about the question that would you date AI? And yeah, Benzium made the point that I was trying to make, that if there is a super AI, like, and it's put into a robot form and whatever, let's say you're trying to debate the AI. How can you do that? Because it has absolute knowledge. It's like, for me, it's when you're in a relationship, one of the great things about it is debating and learning new things, and trying to find middle grounds on things. But how can you do that with something that does a trillion calculations a second and they know everything? And it's so I would like to have like that as a friend, or like on my phone. That would be great, but I'm not sure if I want to date it. And and to add to Lakshmi's point about people being unpredictable, is how can you code impulses to AI? Like, for example, you might want, this might be a weird example, but it might be raining outside, so that might remind you of something that happened like in your childhood 20 years ago. So that makes you go and buy a certain type of ice cream or something weird like that. But how can you? I don't know if that's ever achievable on a robot or an AI.
Oh yes, beautiful comments, beautiful comments. And this is going to be the challenge. So don't think that having a relationship with the AI is going to be challenge free, and AI will be doing the things the way you want. Like you have to be very comfortable in your personality, because as Jess is saying, AI is going to be more advanced. It is going to know the things which you don't know. So how that type of relationship is it's going to work when my AI girlfriend is going to tell me, Tashfeen, you are so stupid. You don't know this. How I'm going to react with that? That is going to be very interesting. So yes, so I think that what Malik mentioned, that it's more like friends. So maybe It's a friend type of relationship. Good commentary, Jess. Yeah. And look at the chat section. Darren is saying, I think Henry Ford once said, if I had asked customer what they wanted, they would have told me a faster horse. That is true. This is what happened. So he did not ask the customers. He went ahead and told them what they want. And these people who are working on AI, they are. We did not tell what type of phones we want. Is that the creators are creating the phones based on what they think, what we are, what we would like to want, and they are through their marketing campaigns and different techniques, psychology. Darren also mentioned this. The last link Darren mentioned was from the journal Psychology Today. So Psychology Today is a very good journal. It's not about AI. It is overall about technology. So please become a reader of Psychology Today if you are. Um, Even if you are not interested in AI and you disagree with the things which we have been saying, still, I think no matter what you are going to do in your life, psychology, understanding humans is about psychology, and that is going to benefit you no matter where you are going to go. So, Psychology Today is a very good source for that. And you can see the link, someone posted the link there. Yes, next one, please.
All right. Okay, I'll go with the camera. So, oh, my computer does not have permission. Anyways, I was thinking about how a robot could really have a soul, because we do have a soul, and or at least I think so, and I think that that's like the deepest part of a human, and that there is no robot who can touch this soul. Like only basically a person can do this and can know, okay, you're feeling like deep down really sad, like something is really deep down of you, like really bad, or you're really good from really inside of you. So then I thought, okay, how can a robot do this? Like barely a human can do it. So a robot have no ideas about this. And I was also thinking that, probably we are getting confused. Like we humans, let's say we are the creators of this baby, of this robot. So it's like if we like create a baby, and then we use this baby on our own, let's say, advantage, to our own advantage. Like we make the baby clean all the house and do all of these crazy things this baby is not capable to. So this robot, let's say, is our baby. So how are we expecting our baby be to our own level? It's like asking too much from a robot, I would say, in my own opinion, also supporting Yasser, what he said, and that we're getting confused, and we're just using robots as let's say a comfort, because we need comfort. Let's say this is like priority, we need comfort now. So okay, I want to use this thing I just created, and this is creating me comfort, so I don't care. It's wrong, it's good, I don't care. So I just use it. And I think that that's the part in which we come, that there should be limitations in how we use this technology. Has good side, bad side, but the purpose, let's say, is to use it in a good side, that we don't get confused with our feelings and appropriate things, and probably we destroy the world, hopefully not. And then I was also thinking that how can we really overcome, coming back to the topic of Eleonora, that we part of this life, let's say I'm quite young, I'm 21, and I have not gone through so many, let's say, difficult situations, battleships, broken hearts, and so many things. But still, I think that the best part of what I have lived until now, I have been trapped in this country for a year and a half. It's to actually be suffering this time, and to actually, I haven't seen my mom in 3 years, but I had to just be like, okay, you have to overcome. There's no come here and comfort yourself, but just overcome, because there's no other way, and that's how we grow stronger. I would not say I'm the strongest person in the world, but this made me a little bit, let's say, grow stronger. And that if we remain in our own comfort zone, in our own pain or delaying pain, then we are not gonna grow. Like, I was about to take a plane back to my home country and just avoid all of this pain I have had until now, but then I realized, no, this is not life. Life is about learning. Life is about getting stronger, and life is also about facing our fears. If our fear is that someone died, okay, we need to face it and we need to overcome. But if we're just delaying, postponing the pain, getting comfort immediately, what are we going to be? Who are we then? We're just sitting in our couch, being literally miserable and doing nothing about our lives, not growing. Then that's what I think. And yeah, that's probably really arousal for me, because I've been living that now, and I think that right now my life is like that, and it has been good like that. And also, last point but not the least, that humans, we have been always unsatisfied, and I include myself in this point. I have traveled the world from Colombia until Russia finding happiness, and still I didn't find it in Russia. I came to Finland then. And still happiness has not been anywhere. That's what I can say. We are just unhappy and unsatisfied humans. So this AI will not satisfy us anyways, because this is not natural and it's our own creation. It's just that saying, okay, this beautiful dish I created is going to be like the best thing I've done in my life. No, it's just like momentum. I'm gonna be happy for a while, but this is not true and long-lasting and eternal happiness. Then this AI is just not gonna make us happy. Let's say, yes, I have heard these points. We're going to want to try this AI. Sure, I think at some point I will also feel it, will not deny it, but this is not going to be definite, and that's why I said, yes, this is not for me, because I know happiness is not going to be there. I think yeah, we're just unsatisfied, and we need to look satisfaction in what we have. If we are not happy with what we have already, that's a big huge problem. If you're not happy with still what we have, what do we have? We have life, we have breath, air, still nature around us. That's for free. If you're not happy with us, I don't think a robot is going to make us happy anyway. So yeah, that's probably an overview of my life, and I think that's what I think until now. It has been really interesting. Thanks.
Yeah, beautiful, Carolina, and very brave of you. And I'm really thankful that you came out and you shared this sentiment, your personal life with all of us. And there's a lot of things we can't thank you enough for sharing this with us. And Carolina is asking serious questions here. That who are we? She was saying I'm gonna quote her.
But this is a really important question. Who are we? If we don't know who we are, we can actually do nothing in this life. I just realized during this class, I was thinking, okay, who am I? Who do I like to do? And why am I studying this thing? what was I thinking when I joined this class? What was I thinking? What do I want to do? And this is so important. If we know who we are, let's say we're halfway through our lives. That's what I think, but I'm quite young still. So I think that this is really important point. Who are we? Who we are really, and we never stop learning who we are. I also found out in these times that okay, I'm a really serious person about this problem, and I am always chill. I'm always like, oh yeah, the world is crashing, it's fine, and then we don't know who we are. And in this type of situation, sadness, really strong pain, strong desperation or limitation, we find ourselves, and then we know who are we really, or are we really who we are when we are happy? No, everyone when it's happy is lovely, but everyone when it's in a difficult situation, then we know who we are. Okay, this person is nice. Okay, no, this person is just go run because it's dangerous. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Absolutely. 100 out of 100, Carolina. 100 out of 100. Beautiful. Thanks very much for all of the things you said. That's very important. And I'm gonna quote her. She said, "If we are not happy with what we have right now, we are not going to become happy. So more money, more material, more education. You think you will be happier after you graduate? No, it's not going to happen like that." She's absolutely correct with all the things which she said. and I totally agree with all she is saying. Even if you don't relate with what she is saying, um even if you disagree with what she's saying, still spend some time thinking about it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make a little bit of a change in your today's reflection based on what she's saying. So in today's reflection, please alert everyone. If you are away or not listening, please pay attention to this, because you are graded for this course and reflection also. So in your today's reflection, outside of what you do, you are also going to answer this question which Carolina has raised, at who we are, um, why we are, why why we are doing this course, who we are, who we really are. Make some. The idea is that you reflect on this very important question, because before we talk about other things and we go out and start talking about relationships and AI and all of these things, before you go into that, you need to spend some time and maybe reflect maybe 4, 5, 6 lines on that, who we really are. Do we understand what we like, what we dislike? Do we understand that where we want to go? And if the answer don't comes, no problem, but still reflect on this important question which Carolina raised for all of us. Very important. So this will be part of your reflection today.
I would
Yeah.
love to hear those
Very good.
comments from others, those answers.
Sorry?
I would love to hear those reflections from others. It's like the question of my life, let's say it.
You will be fine. You will be fine. You are thinking about these things, so you will be fine. And very happy to listen to what you have to say. So yes, next one. Anyways, yes.
Yes. Excuse me. So what the normally human grown up in the baby, they make
Uttam,
it.
you are last in the line, and there are people waiting before you. So
Okay.
you can go ahead, but
Okay.
I don't know.
So what the normally people are doing when they are baby, their relationship with the doll, something like that. That after that they leave this. So relationship with a robot or something, it's like that one kind of the mental diseases. Why I am telling the example that the Erica Labrie, one woman, she married Eiffel Tower. If you check in the Google, then come out her picture and everything. So robot is commercially invented for the reducing variable cost, most of the cases. But for relationship, is somebody okay take for some relationship is that make it fun? What after that?
Thanks for the comments. And of course, you know, Eleonora spoke about health, and she spoke about balance, and our other friends have made similar type of comments. So yes, we are not saying that you should go ahead. It was just a casual question our friends asked me. Would you date AI? Yes, I will, but I will be careful about that. But I will. Yes. Yeah. Next one, please.
Is it me or yes? I think yes, you already have said it.
Anyone, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So what I wanted to touch actually, like yes, and Carolina mentioned it, like we were a lot on focusing on how AI's emotion is so important, but then I think we haven't asked like, so what about our emotion? Like, are we emotionally ready to kind of have that relationship per se, not in a like being together or anything like that, but like even having a AI kind of doing the jobs that we want to do. Of course, it's very useful, like having a robot or AI kind of being in senior homes or in a kindergarten, like teaching of course is very important, but then we have to remember like that it doesn't mean like all robots or AI should learn emotions. I mean, I think it's not even not appropriate like to have some machine that have that kind of thoughts or emotions, let's say working in kindergarten. Like, of course they should be somewhere limit. Of course I don't want my, let's say, having a self-driven car having any kind of emotions. That doesn't even make sense, because it's not that I'm going to wake up in the morning and my Tesla would say, look, okay, I feel very frustrated or sad to kind of work. So I think we kind of need to differentiate like where is it needed and where it's not, like even the emotions, implemented. So I think we should focus on how these machines can be used for a better solution, not to satisfy our emotion needs. I think as Carolina mentioned, like we need to kind of first understand ourselves, rather than getting that emotion from anybody else, for that matter, not only a machine but like anybody else in life. Thanks.
Thanks very much for the contribution. Appreciate it. Yes, next one, please.
Do you hear me?
Yes, Rosie, please go ahead.
So I was thinking about like what can human interaction bring to us that maybe a robot cannot. And I was thinking that maybe human touch and human warmth is something that a robot or a doll cannot really give us. And as we saw with the COVID-19 outbreak, human touch is a very important aspect of the human emotional experience. And I think that a robot cannot really mimic that. Well, that was what I was thinking. But as I thought about this, I ran a Google search.
Yes.
And I found that with COVID-19, they already thought about doing gloves that mimic human touch for COVID-19 patients.
Yes.
So maybe my point is already debunked. They already thought about that. But, it was something that I was thinking, that if you have a relationship with a bot or a doll, you cannot have like the breath of a human being, the warmth of a human being, like the touch and the feeling. And I think it's very important. It's a very important part of who we are. And yes, I was thinking maybe if they cannot mimic human skin and human breath, then the experience will never really be like, an experience that you can have with a human being.
Yes, Rosie. Thanks for that. If you are concerned about the skin, let me tell you that skin is very nice of these companions. They are very soft, and if you touch them, they really feel like sometimes better than human skin, and the hair and everything that is taken care of. But yes, you are right. The feelings and those things are. You can read up on electronic skin also. That is also very interesting area to look at, electronic skin. Yeah. Yes, thanks, Rosie. Next one.
Okay.
Yeah. But the skin is fine. Very, very nice to touch.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, TJ.
About the last video, I don't want to completely agree with Liam, the comment Liam made. I think it is true that a lot of jobs will be replaced by these machines, and we better be prepared for it. You see, most of what we call jobs today, a greater percentage of them are routine, and they have recurrent tasks, which artificially intelligent machines can do better. They don't get tired, they don't die, they don't retire. Organizations, we consider them a better investment.
Mm-hmm.
And frankly, I think a lot of jobs should actually go. Things like fruit picking, taxi driving, truck driving. Most people who do these jobs have the capacities to do better. They're simply doing that because they are available or the opportunity for something better wasn't there. Maybe certain aspects of the teaching profession will not even be spared. I mean, it's true teaching requires a certain level of emotional response to the needs of students, but the machines are capable of doing that. They can evaluate our mental capacities, and they have an unimaginable access to information. Teachers forget to say some things in class, don't they? Now, what I think really is, instead of dwelling on what is imminent, or on what we're going to lose, I would rather we concentrate on the opportunities that this technology presents. We've been discussing AI ethics, regulation, and governance, for instance. These are fields that are going to open up. And it's unimaginable the amount of professionals that can work on AI ethics, for example. If we're no longer going to do the boring, recurrent, and routine stuff, then we have the opportunity to make the best and the chance to make the best use of our lives and do more exciting things. And just to buttress what Yesi said earlier, we already have certain aspects of human frailties and weaknesses that we enjoy. Human imperfection is valuable to us sometimes. Imagine a game of football where a national team has artificially intelligent machine on both sides. It will be too perfect, it will be unexciting, too predictable. An industry like the soccer betting industry will collapse immediately. That is why I like that at the point in the video, it was mentioned that parents should encourage their kids to pursue their passions and forget certain professions. That is definitely the way to go. I mean, I may be wrong, but I don't think anyone really is passionate about an activity like truck driving or fruit picking. Thank you.
Good points. Good points. Thanks very much for contributing. Just like always, you have added to the conversation, and we thank you for that. And yeah, this is what the sentiment is like. You know, that we want to just discuss what the future would be like and what are some of the things we should be mindful of when we are preparing for our career, where we should put our emphasis. So all these pointers, what Lime said, is one way to think about it. What the Jerry is saying, it is another way to think about it. What Carolina said, that is another way to think about it. So it's just perspectives, giving you perspectives, and then you will see how you would want to go. So beautiful points. Yes, next one. Uttam, I think, has spoken already. So maybe Sidra.
I already have spoken. Whatever yeah, he told, then I told this is the variable cost is the most of the cases the variable cost reducing the company use the robot. But in relationship is I think is as a crazy sentiment, and it's one kind of mental disease. Nothing else.
All right. Yes, point taken. Point taken. Thanks, Uttam. Yes.
I wanted to make a point on, like, I've noticed that most people are like thinking about like AIs as like being as us, like as humans, like with skin and breath and all. But I think it's more, you could also kind of see it like as they're living with us. They're not like us, but they share emotions, just like they're a whole different breed. Like they don't have to be like us. We just like live together, like have our own like they are here to benefit us, just like computers and phones. So are robots in the future benefiting us as well. Doesn't really matter if they like, if we can touch them, feel them, or whatever, as long as we can just live together peacefully.
Oh yes, interesting way to look at it is that we need to look at AI as a different breed. And in the you want to continue, Sidra? Please go ahead.
No, that's all.
Okay, all right. Thanks very much. So, please unraise your hands if you are. Uttam, you want to say something, or is just okay?
No,
So,
that's not.
Shoaib also has mentioned this work. It is indeed you should look into that work or similar type of works. A World Without Work by David. So and there are always debate going that you must get some salary even if you are not working or some things like that. So but I really enjoyed today's dialogue, and it would not have been possible if you would not be so kind in sharing your thoughts about this. And I'm it helped me personally speaking. I am just like you are going to reflect on these things. And the question, Carolina, please be mindful. The question Carolina raised, who are we, that is part of your reflection today. So as you will be reflecting, I would be also reflecting on same type of things, and so on. So thanks everyone for that. And from this you can now see what type of future you want to create for yourself, and in that regard how you would want to plan for your career and what skill set you would want to go towards. Uh, you have listened to different viewpoints. I'm not going to say this viewpoint is better than the other one. I have also shared which ones I liked and which ones I am neutral about, but it is independent choice. You have your own path to take, so you will see how you would want to do this. And I think that is a good conclusion for the session. Thank you very much.